What's up, guys? My name is Michael Baez. I'm the founder of Spark Bookkeeping LLC, where we're drilling down your books so we can drill up your profits. If you're new here, I help entrepreneurial tradesmen with bookkeeping and tax, and I am more than qualified to speak about this because I am a licensed CPA and I have helped thousands of individuals and businesses save on taxes, save time, and boost profit. Today I'm going to talk about the difference between an employee and an independent contractor and how you can actually test for that in your business so you don't end up owing the IRS penalties, interest, and back taxes. The main difference between an employee and an independent contractor is that an employee gets put on payroll. Now, there are extra costs when an employee is on your payroll. That's going to be through payroll taxes. Federally, you're going to owe 7.65% for FICA. That's Social Security and Medicare, and that's on the employer side. The employee will also have to pay the same amount, but that doesn't really increase for you. That's for them. You also have to pay FICA tax as an employer. That's 0.9%. That's also for the first $7,000, so anything over that, then that drops a little bit. But you also have workers' comp insurance and then any type of benefits that you offer your employees. This will all increase the cost, whereas as an independent contractor, you have less administrative burden. You just pay them, the total gross amount. You say, hey, I'm going to pay you $500. You give them that $500. Now, they're responsible to pay all of the taxes on that. But as an employer, you are responsible for giving them a 1099 NEC. And before this was $600, but now after OB3, the one big beautiful bill, it is now $2,000 for the limit. If you pay them over $2,000, you will have to give them a 1099 NEC. Now, if you're an employer and you might think, oh, it's better, I just want to pay people as contractors so I won't have to pay the payroll tax and these other associated costs, I would be wary of doing that just because the IRS knows about this. They know that people try to get around through using independent contractors, and they created a 3-part test to see if they really are independent contractors. So I recommend running this through every contractor that you have, making sure that they're classified correctly, because the IRS will hit you with not only what you should have paid, what the employee should have paid as well, penalties and interest. The 3 tests that the IRS have are the behavioral control, the financial control, and the relationship type. For behavioral control, if you are dictating their hours, if you are providing training for them, or if you are making them follow your procedures, they are more than likely an employee. There are a couple more points on that test as well. For financial control, if you provide the tools, material, and equipment, if you also reimburse their expenses, and if they only really work for you, they would more than likely be viewed as an employee. For relationship type, if you are giving them any bonuses or you give them PTO benefits like an employee, then they could be considered an employee. Also, if you are not getting a written contract from them saying the relationship between you guys, that one is an independent contractor or a vendor supplying services to the business, that could also be viewed as an employee. Now, there are more parts to this test. There's normally about 6 per test: the behavioral control, the financial control, and the relationship type. But these are a more not likely than not test, meaning that it's not a concrete number that if you do have this, they are an employee. What we're considering is the likelihood that the IRS will say that they're an employee. So the more you check off, the more it is likely that they are an employee. And if you're paying them as an independent contractor, the IRS can penalize you and give you fees. With the IRS, you could always go to tax court if you'd like, but it's good to talk to a tax professional because they'll know what court cases have been fought for this, which a lot have, and what basis you have and you don't have. I spent the time to create a checklist for you that goes through these tests to tell you whether they are a contractor or an employee. It gives you room to write the name, the date. That way you can do this for any person that you are paying through your business. Just to double check. If you'd like that, go ahead and send me an email. My email will be in the description. Go ahead and include the checklist in the body and I will get this right over to you.